A man is dead tonight after a Gallatin County Sheriff's deputy fires the fatal shot. Authorities say it happened during a routine call today. 9 on Your Side reporter Amy Wattis has more from the scene.
I spoke to a neighbor who heard those shots fired. She first thought those shots were from hunters. Turns out it was an officer-involved shooting. This isn't the scene 13-year-old Taylor Knoll expected to see near her home. A man shot dead by a Gallatin County Sheriff's deputy.
My cousin tapped me on the shoulder and said, "Did you hear that?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Maybe somebody's just shooting a turkey." And I thought the same thing. And then I heard the ambulance a couple minutes later and thought, somebody's hurt.
The deputy who fired the shots was called to a home in the 6600 block of Kentucky 16 just before 5:30 Saturday afternoon. The officer was called here to deal with a man who authorities say was drunk. I'm told he lives at home with his parents. Once things were settled, the sheriff says his officer was on his way to his cruiser when he heard footsteps from behind him. Police say it was the intoxicated man.
At that time, he turned around and asked him what he was doing, and he made a statement to the officer that alarmed the officer. The officer at that time asked him what he was doing following him, and then the subject brandished a firearm to my officer, and my officer took that as a threat and fired upon the subject.
The sheriff is not identifying the officer at this time. He's been with the sheriff's office for 4 years and worked with Glencoe police for 34 years. The sheriff says his deputy is trying to calm down after this incident.
He's okay. He's resting.
Knoll says her family knows the victim's family pretty well.
We used to do hay for them, and all I remember the guy. He was tall, and he would always bring us out water or tea. And I remember the mom. I remember all the family, but I wasn't really close to them. My dad was close to one of their younger brothers.
Police have been called to this home before since it sits so close to the interstate. Now the officer involved in this shooting has been placed on administrative leave. The Kentucky State Police is handling this investigation since the officer involved is with the Gallatin County Sheriff's Office. Now this is typically the procedure when it comes to officer-involved shootings. Amy Wattis, 9 on Your Side, reporting from Gallatin County.
Okay, thank you, Amy.